I think we got what we wanted out of it. My challenge to the team was we had 2 really good days of practice, and I wanted to see us carry over some of those things from the practice floor to the game floor and make some progress from last week's game, and I think we did that. Obviously, we used the bench a bunch tonight, 5 games in 9 days. Any rest I can get some of these guys, hopefully it'll pay off for us down the stretch. But we did what we had to do, and the bench got some valuable minutes. There's some good teaching moments for those guys. Now a quick turnaround and get ready for Riverside, which I think will be maybe our toughest challenge to date.
Questions for the student athletes first.
Ryan, Kalkbrenner, you're 19 for your last 19 from the field. Does it feel easy out there right now? I mean, what's it feel like there for you right now?
I think my teammates have done a good job of putting me in a good position to take good shots. I mean, I don't think any of the shots I've taken have been too hard, and that's a credit to the guys I play with. They're really good at creating opportunities for other people, and I just get the benefit from that. I mean, Nembhard's probably one of the best passing point guards in the country, so I'm lucky to be playing with a bunch of guys like that.
So does that green light kind of extend to the 3 for you tonight? I know that was your first 3 of the year. So.
If it goes in, it does.
Ryan, Nembhard, facilitating the night, it seemed like your reads were the right ones pretty much all the time. What were you seeing out there? How did everything flow? I watched some film on the way they guarded screens. Coaches kind of prepared us for the way they were guarding screens, and just kind of had to make the right reads.
Ryan Kalkbrenner, do you remember a game ever where you did not miss a shot? Is it possible that this is a first in your life of playing basketball?
Probably the first where I shot 10 and had a 3 in it. So maybe I had a game where I went 5 for 5.
That's a safe bet.
That definitely is. Definitely for the amount of shots I took, probably my first.
Anything else for the student athletes?
Yeah, R2, I guess. When you guys are, getting back to playing with pace, obviously the things that you guys were recruited to do here in that offense. Where are you guys at with that, in your opinion? And, when you look at your assist turnover ratio tonight as a team and also yourself, how do you feel like it's coming together?
I think our pace has been a lot better. We've been working on it in practice. We've been working on it all summer, watching a lot of film on it too, and I think the pace is one of the most important things for us when we run. It's hard for teams to guard us, hard for teams to get their defense set. So, pace has been great, and then I think we're just all a little older, all a little more experienced. Just the game slowing down for a lot of us, so I think we're just making the right reads out there.
In terms of offensive continuity, I feel like that's a big part of what makes it look as smooth as it does at times.
Yeah, definitely. We got a bunch of guys, like I've said before, who could just do a lot of things, make plays, shoot the ball, pass. So, I mean, when you have a bunch of guys that are unselfish and play the right way, it's pretty easy out there.
Obviously, awful game like tonight, your connection looks strong with everybody, but particularly from the start of the season, it feels like your connection with this guy is extremely strong. I mean, that lob for the first play of the game is almost always there. I mean, what's it feel like in terms of the connection with him right now?
Yeah, I think we have a great relationship. All summer we've been kind of building it. He knows where I'm going to be. I know where he's going to be. We know where we like screens. We know where he likes the ball. I think our relationship is just growing a lot, and you can kind of see it on the floor. And I'm so lucky to be playing with a big like him.
You take more pride in the 12 assists or 0 turnovers?
0 turnovers.
Yeah.
Ryan Kalkbrenner, you had 6 first half dunks. Did you start to have more fun progressively, or was it just part of the game plan?
I think that's just taking what they give us. I mean, the guards did a really good job of reading that late roll where we didn't necessarily get the lob right away, but if he just holds it for a second, we got it. And, that's just something where if I catch the ball, I got to be quick getting it up and just having to be a dunk for some of them. But it was definitely a lot of fun when you start the game with a few dunks like that.
How do you feel with the ball screen continuity between you and R2 is right now?
It is awesome. I couldn't ask for a better point guard to play with. Just ever since he got here, it was really easy to play with a smart point guard like him. And after every play where either we're on the same page or we're not on the same page. We're saying what you see, what I see, to just build into a great relationship, and we just know what each other's thinking a lot of the time now.
All right, thanks, gentlemen.
Good job. Yeah. Great game.
We'll continue with questions for Coach.
Mac, small sample size, only 3 games, but I guess kind of you get a sense of trajectory for your guys at this point?
Yeah, we're moving the right direction, and that's, my challenge has been to them week to week. Let's improve. We did that last year, and that has to be, what we're about again this year. Let's not settle for where we're at. Let's do things to make ourselves a little bit better every day. And there were some really good things happened out there. Obviously, defensively, I thought we played really well the first half. They threw in a couple threes at the end of the shot clock and a couple tough twos where we defended it pretty well. But our two, he scores 5 points and he controls the game. It's just he's playing with pace, but he's got the ability to play fast but slow himself down and make the right reads. And some of those lookoffs he had on those passes to Kalkbrenner, I'd like to tell you I taught him that, but that's something that's inherent to him, and pretty fun to watch and a lot of fun to coach.
From your vantage point, how close to 100 out of 100 was he in terms of making decisions and making the right reads? Because it seemed like he could have had more than 12 assists.
Yeah, I mean there was a few that he probably tried to sneak it in there to Kalkbrenner where he probably had the throwback that was probably more open. But he also recognized that they're 6'6", so even if they're there, if I get it to the right spot, Ryan's going to get it. And one thing they didn't talk about, they've got a great relationship, but for a point guard, you got to trust if you're going to throw it up there that the big boy's going to go get it. So there's some onus on Kalkbrenner's shoulders. Like if we're going to throw you these, make sure you get a catch for us. And he's just his development of learning to keep the ball high and get it out of his hands quickly. He's really gained strides in really every part of his game, so it's been fun to watch.
And obviously, through the small sample size, we play teams that don't really have any competent, big-sized guys. I guess. Do you expect? I mean, I know the whole summer we talked about the points being distributed evenly, but do you expect Kalkbrenner to possibly be your first option in a lot of these games?
Well, I think anybody that's coaching Ryan Kalkbrenner, you're a fool if you don't try to make him an option down there, and in the first game against St. Thomas, even though he was sick, they really had 4 guys in the paint all the time surrounding him. So even though we couldn't get it to him, we got wide open shots because of his presence. So we just need to make sure he's a presence down there, that he's sealing, that he's being big, and that we're giving him a look, and then that moves the defense and allows other things to happen. So he's running the floor in transition, he's making those bigs run. Fred's doing a good job of that as well. So he has to be a factor for us, both in our ball screen action and in transition.
I mean, him not missing a shot in about 40 minutes of game time, that's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any of them were that hard. He made a nice little left-handed play the second half. I mean, they look easy. They're not easy, but they look easy. But, he's doing his job. He's staying in his lane, and, he had the open 3, and it's later in the shot clock. He knows he's got the okay to shoot that. So it's, I guess when you consider one of them was a 3, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the circumstances with the three-pointer, like you said, the shot clock's running down, but it seemed like it was kind of unfolding slowly, and the building went quiet as he was getting ready to launch that thing.
Yeah, there's been a couple times he's turned a few down this year, and you can hear the crowd gasp a little bit because I think they want to see if he's actually, what we've talked about in the off season is actually there, and he has made strides, and I don't think where he needs to be yet, but he's moving that direction, and I think his trajectory with his three-point shooting is much like his free throw shooting. He was a 45 or 46% free throw shooter as a freshman. He was 75% last year. His three-point shooting is going the same direction. It's just, we really didn't zero in on it until this offseason, and part of the offseason he was recovering from a knee injury.
Did their offensive pace cause some issues that you're kind of happier on film a little bit in terms of
they decided to start big, so that maybe changed what they were doing a little bit. I thought we handled their zone whenever they went to zone. We got good things against that. But I thought we got back put our defense together for the most part. Obviously, that second group, the second half, was out there a long time, longer than I'd like guys to be out there without a break. And I thought fatigue started to show with some of our plays with that group, but also with 5 games in 9 days, like I said, any rest I can buy some of those guys. I've got to be able to do it.
What'd you see from Stolzberg off the bench?
I think people got a taste of what's to come with him. You know, he's got a lot of ability. He sees the floor. He's confident in his offensive ability. He's developing on the defensive end. You know, understanding what our rules are defensively and the subtle changes that we make from game to game with our game plan. And that's hard for a freshman because you end up having to think a lot. And when you think a lot, sometimes your feet don't move as fast. So they'll become habits, and he'll get better as we move on. But these last 2 games have been really valuable for him to take a step forward and gain a little bit more confidence.
You mentioned Riverside will likely be the toughest test to date. What makes them unique?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen them much. I've seen the scores. You know, they were down big at Colorado, I believe, at halftime, and came back and cut into it pretty well. And you know, Colorado just had a great win against Tennessee yesterday. And then they went down. They were on the road at Loyola Marymount, who's got a really good team, and we're down 18.5 and came back and won the game. So, and they're playing, I believe, they haven't played since. So they're sitting at home for 8 or 9 days waiting for this game. So, very well coached. I remember watching them when we played Santa Barbara in the NCAA tournament a few years ago. I watched those games against Santa Barbara and was really impressed with how they played and how they went about it and their execution. So. Why I decided to schedule him, I'm not sure that I was that if I was that impressed why I'd schedule him. But it'll be a good test for us, and you know we got to make sure we get focused because obviously they're all excited, they're human to head to Maui, but we've got some work to do before then.
I think 7 or 8 guys hit threes tonight. It's another second night in a row with good balance from the 3-point line. Is that coming together how you thought?
Yeah, I mean, they're not shooting it. You know, obviously Baylor and Bello are much better shooters than 2 for 7, and Trey's better than 1 for 4, and I thought we had good looks. So, you know, some nights they're not going to go in, and some nights they are. I hope as we move forward we make a few more. But we've got a lot of guys who can shoot it and a lot of guys that have the green light.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.